Hi, I'm Michael Wargo, team pilot for Precision Aerobatics. And today we're going to do a little comparative video between the XR-61 and the Katana 60. Now, probably the most common question I'm asked is, PA customers are trying to figure out which one of these two they want to buy. Well, hopefully this video today will help you decide. Honestly, they both fly amazing, obviously, but the truth is that they are different, and they really do fly different. So the first thing I want to do is kind of show you a little bit why this one's a little, we talk about it being a little floatier and a little more 3D friendly. If you look at the wing just visually, you could see how much more wing area there is. I've always loved the way the Katana feels, and just the fact that the wing does look a little smaller doesn't mean it's going to 3D like that much differently. But the fact is, it does. This one here, with the smaller wing and the different wing shape, this one here just tends to want to snap differently, a little faster. So when I say this plane is a bit more athletic and things like that, that's what I'm talking about. This is an amazing design that really splits that difference with 3D and high energy stuff. I mean, I really love this airframe. This one here is so comfortable to fly that a lot of times if people are coming from the addiction, I always think this is a better step up into this type of aircraft. Although they wouldn't be at all disappointed with this. I think this is it's got a lot of the nice 3D characteristics that the Addiction has, but again, a really good looking, really nice traditional airframe. So let's fly them. All right, here we go with the XR-61. I did this intentionally. I'm doing this with both aircraft and doing them cold. I've literally never done this exact maneuver before, take off into this particular thing. Of course, I've done this 8-point rolling circle before, but just really cold, just to see how well it handled it and so on and so forth, because I think, it shows a lot of control as far as the aircraft is concerned. And I did this with the Katana 60 as well when I opened. With the XR-61, you're going to notice when I do this particular maneuver, you can almost see that it is going to do that at a little slower speed than the Katana 60. And when I refer to the, the really quick ailerons and things like that, it's quick, but the Katana 60 is going to be quicker. However, with this move, this one is just going to fall a little bit slower. It's going to be a little easier to manage. And when I say a little easier, I mean a little easier. None of this is dramatically different. I'm just going to show you the difference. I'm sorry, but this is, as far as a traditional looking plane, I don't think there's anything on the planet that will Harrier quite as stable and beautifully as this one does. Doing things a little lower and a little slower seems to be a little bit easier. I think it's perceivable, but you might not. But again, the airframes are very, very good, both of them, very similar. All this low, slow stuff, this plane likes to hover, likes to torque roll. It will stay so nice and steady. I'll show you what it looks like in an inverted Harrier, just falling down like this. See how nice and stable it is? Again, this is a hallmark of this particular airframe. Let's stand it up right here. We got a little wind at my back here.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
The high energy stuff is still really good. it still likes to tumble. Sometimes if we want to do things like pop top, things like that, it does them perfectly. But again, the Katana 60 will always be just a little tighter. Right now, I'm going to show you like a fast snap. All right, with a fast snap, just watch. A little slow as compared to the Katana 60. If I add the rudder just right, I can accelerate that snap, and I'll show you that. A lot more rudder. And again, that is the snap rate of the 61. Come down and we'll do a blender.
-1 minute.
Again, very athletic. But again, the Katana 60 is just going to do those a little cleaner and a little faster. Maybe look a little more impressive. Rudder authority, we're going to throw it over. And you see how nice this thing comes across. Maybe at this angle you can see it a little better. Watch how quickly how small a circle it makes. Much closer to the Addiction. It does knife edge so well. But this one, that real high alpha, you can get it a little slower and a little higher angle of attack. It's getting a little windy here now, but that's the idea. Another maneuver this thing does extraordinarily well is a rolling Harrier. I think this is probably the easiest out of all of the PA planes to do this. I think it seems to just hold that nose. It's so easy to hold the nose where it is. And you can just do it all day. It's a very easy plane to roll like this. I think from the standpoint of a rolling Harrier, it's the most predictable outcome. If you really want to get, if it gets to the point where you really want to try and figure out how to get these things nice and low, this is the plane to do it with. I think it's easier than the Addiction, only because of the Addiction's ailerons and how big those flight controls are. Takes a little more work to do a rolling Harrier. I know it sounds a little odd, but the truth is it does. So out of all the planes, this is the one that will do the rolling Harrier easier, or easiest. Now we're going to take a look at the Katana's roll rate. As you can see, it's faster, just a little bit quicker. And with the right use of the rudder, you can get it really quick. And again, it's just a little more agile, and it's kind of designed for this. And of course, it makes all the high energy stuff look a whole lot better. Of course, the pop top looks, you could see the ailerons in this case were a little faster than I was ready for, and kind of have to adjust in order to get that pop top started exactly the way I would like it to, so it looks a little better at the top. Like that. And of course now we're coming down low, and as you can see, super stable, super slow falling, nice and floaty. It does everything awesome. What I was saying earlier was that the XR-61 just kind of does this stuff a little better, just a little bit easier. You might need to add a little less throttle, might not have to be quite as hyper aware of where the throttle is because it is a little bit floatier. all I know is both these airframes are absolutely incredible. But you know, I love both of them. Again, this is kind of where it shines. This high energy stuff, you know, getting it to pinwheel like this. And here's another thing. This is the inverted Harrier. And again, you can see how rock solid and stable it is. And, you know, I'm always saying these things in the PA videos, but to be quite honest with you, whenever I'm flying any of these, it's just my favorite part is just how stable it is through all this stuff. Here's a rolling Harrier, and again, it is effortless with this compared to most other planes. In fact, almost all other planes. I still like the way the XR-61 does it just a little bit better. Here's a little bit to show you a bit about rudder authority. If you watch how quickly this comes around, the XR-61 will do this a little bit tighter. Again, it's all just the design of the airframe. The other one's a little less wing area, all this kind of stuff. They both knife edge, as you can see, just spectacularly well. Very easy to see how well it does it. But if you watch this one and go back to watch the XR-61 on knife edge, you will see undoubtedly that, you know, it's a little easier to fly a little bit slower with a little bit of a more high angle of attack with the XR-61. And of course, here's some straight line flying. You know, you can see how nice and pretty the straight lines are with this plane. It's, I believe, a little bit better than the XR-61. But again, little different weight, wing, and all the type of thing. It seems to fly super, super straight. Honestly, you know, when I talk about high energy maneuvers and things like that, you see how it squares off the corners and things like that. I really think the Katana 60 just does have an advantage there. This little half a loop with on knife edge, you know, the fact that it holds it so steady and things like that. It's just a great airplane as it is. And of course, for me, the ultimate aircraft is something that goes between the high energy and this low and slow stuff perfectly. And this airframe does it. And here's a maneuver I did with the XR to just, you know, full elevator, just let it fall in an elevator configuration. You see this one's falling a little bit faster, and that's indicative of what we were talking about with the larger wing area.